What are the best audiences or targeting types to use for your YouTube ad campaigns? Right now, we're gonna go through a complete guide on key audience types to maximize your results, to try and increase your results depending on your niche, right? Whether you're a consultant, online consultant, whether you're an info product owner, or an e-commerce product owner, whether you have a high ticket offer, this is gonna help you. You're gonna be able to understand which audiences to use at the beginning. Okay, so the best audiences and targeting type to use is custom intent audiences and custom affinity audiences. Especially if you're starting out with YouTube, if this is your first time trying out some campaigns. A lot of folks will try these broad campaigns and they get these very subpar results, and they don't know why it's not working for them, right? They don't have really a defined formula to, let's say, find that ideal customer through the billions of users that are on YouTube, right? So your user is there, your ideal customer is there. You just need to have a strategy and have this thought out process of being able to flesh out who is my customer avatar, what are they searching online, how are they searching online, and how we can translate that into a custom intent audience or a custom affinity audience. And we're gonna break that down. We actually do have a video up here where you can go through in more detail about custom intent versus custom affinity audiences. Okay, so let's start with custom intent. So with Google custom intent audiences, this is the group of people that are actively online searching for a specific product or service, right? To purchase that, right? That's why intent, right? By intent, you've heard of that phrase before, I'm sure. This is no different, okay? Custom intent is your creme of la creme when it comes to try and isolate your campaigns to users that have high intent of purchase, right? And that's where the middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel type of user is gonna be in this particular scenario or cohort, right? They're searching for specific terms, they're visiting specific content online. And this is where, a lot of people, when they were doing keyword targeting on YouTube, which was marvelous. I remember back in the day, we were able to use keyword targeting, right? So create the display video keywords, add them, and be able to target individuals searching for those specific terms and phrases online. And it used to be great. We used to have lots of conversions. And then they decided to remove the content, the contextual targeting aspect of things. So you can no longer add the keywords in there, but the custom intent is still a valuable tool. It's still inside your audience manager where you can use that and create some really specific audiences, right? Based on how people are searching for your product or service. Okay, for custom affinity, it's no different. It does have a little bit of intent behind that particular targeting type, but it is based off of the URL, or at least that's the setting that we use, and we'll show you guys in my screen in a few here. But essentially, we want to target individuals who search or who have browsed specific websites or similar websites. So we use the URLs, right? So there are a lot of people that use multiple URLs in one, so you can do that as well. But we found that simplicity is better, right? So if you have, one URL based off a specific, let's say, item that you're selling, right? It could be, a high ticket program for Amazon FBA, right? If you have somebody that's visiting how to create your own Amazon FBA business, and that's a blog URL, you use that, you're already jumping into the traffic of people, right? Your ad is going to be showing to people inside this traffic line of queries about Amazon FBA business, how to start an Amazon FBA business. And you can think about when you're doing your research, come up with various options, right? It could be 10, 20, 50, 100, right? Have some, your junior media buyer or somebody on your team help you find all of these blog articles that are relevant. You can take some from the most recent blog articles to those that have the most, page authority or domain authority, how they call it in the SEO world, where they've just been ranking, right, forever. It could be a couple of years old. It doesn't matter. People will still read some of these articles based on just, the data or the information that is provided, right? So remember, that's key here, because people are going to be searching for a specific business creation, Amazon FBA, or how to make money with Amazon FBA type of thing. So those are key terms that people will put in their Google search bar. And if you jump into those individuals and your offer has something to do with Amazon FBA, guess what? You're gonna be showing your ad to people and it's gonna be relevant to them. So they're most likely to check out your offer, right? So that's the whole point. If your ad is coherent, right, there's congruency between, that intent and your ad, then you're gonna be able to connect the dots bots there a bit and be able to connect with the user to potentially sell the click from the ad. And then from there, you have your funnel, you have your offer.
Hey, really quickly, do you want us to run your ads for you so that you can get results like this or this or this or this? In that case, check the top link in the description down below. And now back to the video.
I'm gonna show you a couple of ways that you can visualize your audience settings, okay? Okay, so you're probably used to seeing this. If you go to the audience manager and tools and settings, right? You click here, you're gonna see a page like this, right? So you're gonna have the data segments, which is something we're gonna be talking about nearing the end of the video here. So stick around for that. There's gonna be some valuable nuggets there. But for now, we're gonna be talking about the custom segments. So again, we do have videos that cover this, so we're not gonna spend too much time on this, but this is where you're gonna create, using the dashboard, you can create these audiences based on the intent. If you wanna do based on the intent, this is how you would do this, okay? So again, this is based off search. Ideally, if you have a list, a keyword list based on your product or service, this is where you would add that list of how people are searching for your product or service. So whether it's things like that, this is where you add that. Their AI has gotten a little better when it comes to giving us some suggestions. So you can see some of these are still may not be as relevant. This is how to become an Amazon seller, Amazon FBA coach. So that there's a couple of ideas that you can take from here and you can just add them. Notice the weekly impressions though. So I do want to be clear on this aspect, because normally when you have this amount of weekly impressions, what I've noticed from my experience is that the impression servings are not as ideal as if when you have, let's say, 1 billion to 10 billion. You see that sometimes that changes over time. So you definitely want to continue adding a little bit more to this, right? And hopefully it's going to be relevant to what your product or service is, right? So the goal would be to just try to increase this, and you can do as many as you like, but you want to maybe theme your audiences, because this would be just one specific audience, right? So it'd be custom intent, let's say Amazon FBA related, and then just anything related to Amazon FBA here. That's what you want to implement. This is how you would do it, and then you just basically hit save, and that's one custom intent audience that you have just created. For custom affinity, similar process, but for custom affinity, again, the way that we do it is based on websites. We've done interest or purchase intentions. From my experience, it hasn't yielded the best results, right? We've had mixed results in the past. We've had more consistency with the custom intent. So you want to make sure that this is selected. People who search for any of these terms on Google, these are going to be your higher intent individuals. Now for custom affinity, this is where you would add the URLs. So again, if we're looking at, and this is part of the research that we're talking about here, guys. So if we go Amazon FBA courses, so Amazon FBA course, you see there's some sponsored ads in here. There's some Udemy, some of these may be low ticket. So I've seen that at times. Sometimes these work. Other times it does start generating lower quality leads, right? Because these are individuals that will go to these sites and not necessarily want to spend more than $200 on a course or something like that, right? So it depends again on your offer. I'm just using Amazon as an example here, but if you're high ticket coach, you're a business coach, an empowerment coach, life coach, things like that, you want to be creative, right? How are people looking for this? Maybe they're looking for specific solutions, right? How to be more, just use another example. Let's say how to be more assertive as a leader or something like that, right? So leadership, I know there's a lot of leadership coaches. So think about this. If somebody goes in here, assertiveness and leadership, and you create, your offer is regarding, how to be more assertive as a leader, for example, this would be one URL that you can try out. Basically just add it in here into the settings. So you basically add that URL, you copy and paste that URL in here, and that is one audience, okay? Again, a lot of people go ham on this and they'll add like 10, 20 URLs. That's not highly recommended, just because you're not gonna know what's working, right? If you have a specific audience and URL, you can label it as such, and you'll know that, hey, this audience from let's say in this case, positivepsychology.com has given me the better results. So that's one way to go about this, okay? Now notice this doesn't have weekly impressions. I do want to give a fair warning, is that some URLs will not generate impressions, or it won't even serve as much, right? Or at all, right? So you want to continue trying different URLs. Usually the most popular ones, again, depending on your offer, your niche. But if you select the more popular blog articles, you will see some impressions and eventually see some conversions. If obviously you have the other pieces of the funnel, you have a good creative, and you have a nice funnel that helps them move along the conversion. So that is how you would create these audiences here. There's also the combined segments, which I wanted to talk about next, and this is the second part of it, right? So combined segments, it's very unique. We've had mixed results in the past, depending on the niche as well. So this may not work for specific offers. It can work though for some e-com offers as well. Here is basically an opportunity for you to add from your custom segments that you have, as well as in market, right? So if you go to browse, you have all these options. You can either select your audiences based on demographics, right? So you have parental status, marital status, education, homeowner, employment, or you can combine your custom segments since you already have like an idea. So let's say, as an agency, we want to reach out to people who are maybe in high-ros, right? So we want people who are looking at high-ros, but we want to also narrow it down. So this is where you narrow it down, but they also need to be, for example, looking for SEO and SEM services. This is one example. So this is a combined custom affinity with an in-market search engine marketing services, right? So this is a perfect example for us reaching these individuals. And this is where we need to get creative with our ads, right? So I know this is a full guide on audiences, but this part is just crucial, and it will make more sense when you have an ad that is just coherent. If you're watching this ad, think about this. I'm just using an example. Hey, if you're watching this ad right now, it's because you probably have browsed Hyros, so tracking software. We are a YouTube ad agency that helps companies scale. This is just one example that you could use in your creative based on how you're targeting. So maybe they're searching for a different software, right, online, depending on what you're offering. Maybe you have a SaaS product for, drop shippers, right? And you have people that are visiting AliExpress, and then they're also looking for maybe, business services, things like that. Then you can play around with that. I think you guys get the idea. That is combined segments. And we're going to be talking about data segments now. And this is the part where I'm going to be very, very clear on this. First party data in 2024 is going to be key. Okay. If you have first party data, which we're talking about, emails, names that you connected, SHA 256, all of the data that you can potentially get from your paying customers, from individuals that have in the past entered your funnel, you want to have as much data as possible. So you want to have, campaigns on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, from all of these other platforms or your organic platforms to try and get them into your funnel so you can leverage the data within the Google Ads platform. Again, the reason I'm saying this is because there are many remarketing options that are available to you when you're, let's say, doing a bottom of the funnel strategy, right? You want to do some warm campaigns to try and get people to convert, right? Middle, bottom of the funnel. You have the opportunity to create YouTube viewers, okay? So people who view your YouTube channel, for example, in the last 90 days. So within data segments, again, once you have analytics linked, okay, you can see here, you can select it and create the custom audience. Again, here you're gonna be able to select, depending on the events, depending on how data rich your Google Analytics account is, specifically your GA4 account, this is how you can leverage it accordingly, right? So for us, for example, we have a calendar event scheduled, which we know it's not gonna reach over 1,000, so we won't be able to use that, but we do have different events, right, that have been tracking all this time. So page view event, for example, for the last 30 days, we know that we have over 4,000 sessions in here, right? Even though it's telling us 3,000 users in this audience. So we could potentially use this GA4 audience. And this is a page view 30 days audience that we can use. Simply hit save and the audience should be published, right? So it won't show up immediately here, but eventually it will show up and you'll be able to leverage that. And that's gonna be something for you to consider when it comes to remarketing. So again, this is part of the audience strategy, guys, for 2024. You wanna have a combination of cold, yes, for sure, cold prospecting using custom intent, custom affinity. You wanna use the combined segments to test out some ideas, test out different creatives based on the, the detailed interests, let's say equivalent of Facebook when it comes to combined segments. They visit a specific site or they're in market for a specific product or service. They must also have been part of this particular cohort, right? So that's very powerful. And then this third option is the custom segments, which you can select from, website visitors, YouTube users specifically. You can create the last 30 days or for the last 14 days, video viewers, you can do subscribers, right? Remarket to your channels, people who viewed your video as an ad, various options. Customer list, that is one crucial data that I'm gonna explain to you here next. This is the last golden nugget that I had for you guys. So we do have a video about this. So I'm not gonna delve too much into detail. This is the demand gen campaign type, and you will be able to create a lookalike audience. That's right. So if you have a customer list that is rich in data, right? You wanna follow the criteria that they ask you here, okay? So I'm gonna show you how you can do this. You can do it through a data source, right? If you're using a CRM such as BigCommerce, MailChimp, there's definitely HubSpot, for example, is a very common one that people are using. You can also click here and you'll see other ones, Salesforce. There's various options of CRMs that people are using that you can connect it to Google, right? If that's not the case, one of the easiest ways is just simply uploading a file manually, and you can upload user IDs or mobile device IDs if you have those, or just a common email, phone, and mailing addresses, okay? Make sure it's a CSV file. There's a template here that you can use, right? So you can actually click here and it'll open it up. This is the template here. It shows you step by step what you need. And with the demand gen campaigns, which again, there's a link up there, click it and watch that video. It'll break down how you can create lookalike audiences. We've already tested it. So far, mixed results. We've gotten some leads, but if you're not right now acquiring emails, if you don't have a top of the funnel strategy to acquire new emails, new leads and prospects, you definitely need to get on that, guys. Especially if you're a business owner, you're a product offer owner, you want to build your email list, and there are different strategies you can go to and apply using YouTube ads. But we hope that with these audiences and these ideas, you can start implementing maybe some lead magnet ideas, some low ticket offer ideas that you can obviously review on different videos that we have on our channel of the best funnels to use, right? The best offers that are good for YouTube ads. But ideally, audiences is just one piece of the puzzle, guys, okay? That's just one ingredient in that formula of being able to have success and scaling success with YouTube ads. Don't forget the ads, right? Creative is king with YouTube ads. It's video ads, have really nice scripted video ads, great, projection, great messaging, great approach when it comes to hooking the person and being able to sell that click for individuals who are watching your ad for the first time. Take them into your funnel, and from there you have the nurturing sequences, right? The remarketing, you have the email marketing. Again, this is just a cohesive approach to doing marketing and digital marketing nowadays, right? So again, guys, we hope you enjoyed this full guide on audiences that you can start implementing right now and in early 2024 to get an edge over your competitor. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment below, turn on your notifications, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next video.